Hey guys, and we are less than a month away from the release of Mario Kart World, and I am really excited. This is definitely shaping up to be an amazing new Mario Kart game. Though, there is one thing that I am a bit mixed on, and that is the items. I think the item system probably will be fine for the most part, but I think the selection here is a bit weird. There are some items here that I think are a bit strange, some are a bit too heavy on the novelty of them, and then some of them I'm just confused why they're still here because they haven't been good in past Mario Kart games. But before we get started, I wanted to mention that I have a goal to hit 30,000 subscribers before the Nintendo Switch 2 launches, so if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing, and if I hit that goal, I will give away a copy of Mario Kart World. But we at least have the basic items here that you would expect to see in a Mario Kart game. The green shells, the red shells, the blue shell, the banana peels, the mushrooms, various things like that. As well as like things like the Boo, Bullet Bill, Bomb returning. Like a lot of the ones that you'd expect to see. There is one mainstay that always sticks around that I really think they should scrap at some point, because it's one of the worst items in every game that it's in, and that's the blooper. I really don't get the point of the blooper at this point. Like, I mean, yeah, besides, like, obstructing your view, it also, like, causes racers to lose a little bit of traction, but I've never really found it to be that useful of an item. Like, especially if you're playing against, like, actual players and not CPUs. Like, it really isn't that useful, honestly. I really feel like it should have been removed a long time ago, and I don't know why it's still here. I feel like it's just the novelty of this being the blooper being an item at this point. Like, because it really isn't a good item, but Nintendo always likes to push it as one of the big Mario Kart items. But it really has never been a good item, like, ever since it was introduced back in DS. I don't know why it keeps returning, other than that fact that Nintendo wants to push, but yeah, it's a little disappointing that it's here. And then there's also, like, a lot of, like, item changes that I do think are welcome changes. Like, with the lightning, it basically only affects anyone in front of you, which I think is a good change. It might be a bit iffy that it doesn't last as long, because apparently it doesn't, but I do like the change of it only affecting, like, the players in front of the person who uses it. I actually think that's a pretty good change. The Bullet Bill also got a change as well. It was also kind of nerfed. Like, now, I think it only passes one player, I believe. It depends on the placement, I think, but I could see why they nerfed it, because it is pretty overpowered in, like, other Mario Kart games, so I can kind of understand that. So, I can kind of understand why it's nerfed. Then we also have the Super Horn returning from Mario Kart 8, and I think that was also in Tour as well. I was a bit kind of mixed on this item. I do think it has a place, like, as an item that can deflect the blue shell. But even though there are other ways of dodging a blue shell, this is like the kind of an easier way of getting rid of a blue shell. But other than that, it's like pretty situational. It isn't that great of an item. And I think I was like, on my prediction video for the items, I think I was debating on, like, whether they'd remove this or not. So, they didn't. I mean, because it was also in Tour. So I think it's fine. It's alright, I would say. And one item that they did remove from Mario Kart 8 was the Piranha Plant, which makes sense, as Piranha Plant is actually a playable character. I mean, I'm not really, like, disappointed that they removed that one. That was one that I was kind of expecting them to remove. It wasn't in Tour either. So I can like, the Super Horn, that kind of makes sense as one, like, returning from 8. The Boomerang Flower as well. I actually kind of like the Boomerang Flower. I think that's a pretty solid item, I would say. Especially, like, you could throw it multiple times, and you could, like, I kind of like how it works and everything. It's a pretty good offensive item, I would say, so I'm kind of glad it's returning. And the Fire Flower is also returning as well, but we're also getting the Ice Flower from Tor, which I also think is nice as well. It's pretty cool to have, like, a variant of it here. And I mean, at first, it looks to be very similar to the Fire Flower, but it does basically cause players to lose control, like, temporarily when they get hit by it. It doesn't, like, exactly, like, freeze them entirely, but it does still have that effect of them kind of being a little frozen. So I'm glad that that's here. I think it's good that we're getting, like, more variety with certain items. That was one thing that I mentioned in my prediction video, was that I was hoping that there would be more variety for certain items. So I think that's good that they're doing that with the Ice Flower here. So I think that's pretty cool that they're adding it from Tor. That was another one of my predictions, that they'd add, like, a lot of items from Tor. So I also think that's pretty cool that I kind of got that right. I kind of expected that, because Tor had a lot of great ideas for items. And another one of those good ideas is the hammer. I think the hammer is pretty cool. It basically kind of works like either the, it is kind of based on either the hammer suit from Super Mario Bros. 3 or just the Hammer Bro in general, and allows you to, like, basically throw, like, bursts of, like, hammers, like, causing the player to spin out, like, if it gets hit by one. And they also mentioned that it kind of, like, blocks off the players a little bit, too. It kind of adds, like, a little bit of, like, a temporary barrier as well, which I think is pretty cool. I think that it kind of separates it from, like, some of the other projectile items. So, again, I like the variety here. So I think it's pretty cool that they're adding the hammer. And I mean, the hammer has been, like, a staple in the Mario franchise. Like, I mean, like, especially in, like, the Mario RPGs and things. So I think it's pretty cool that they're adding the hammer as an item. One item that was technically also in 8 Deluxe, that I'm a bit confused about is the feather. I mean, it makes sense for battle mode, but in, like, regular races, I think it's a bit weird. I mean, yeah, they're kind of, like, using it as, like, another, like, defensive item, as, like, one you could, like, kind of avoid a shell or something, but I feel like there's enough ways to do that. I know I was talking about variety, but, I mean, I don't know. The feather, it does seem a bit redundant with the amount of options that you have, and I feel like it might be kind of situational as well. There are these, like, question blocks in different things, and, like, node blocks and things scattered throughout the world, but you can, like, only activate those if, well, I mean, you could do, like, a like, trick off something and then hit them, but then you'd also, like, some of them might only be, like, accessible with a feather, which I think is kind of weird. I mean, it gives a use for the feather, but it seems kind of like an artificial use of the feather. I don't know. I think it's a bit weird. I mean, it might be better executed in the actual game, but I don't know. I think it's a bit weird. One that I am happy about returning is the Mega Mushroom. This is one that I predicted. And as far as we know, it's not really getting a nerf, just based on the footage that we've seen so far. That was my prediction, that it would get a nerf from the Mario Kart Wii version, and I guess it would work similarly to how it did in Tor, but it seems to work pretty similarly to how it did in Wii. So I think the Mega Mushroom's a pretty good item. It could be used as both, like, an offensive and defensive item, so I think it's pretty good. It has a lot of utility, and I'm glad it's returning. I think it definitely helps add to the variety here, and I think it's pretty good. Another fairly controversial one that I'm a bit mixed on is the coin. I'm not, like, immediately disappointed by this one at first, because they have made some changes to the coin system in the game. Since you can have up to 20 now, it adds a little bit more nuance to the coin system in the game. like basically allowing you to boost like your top speed in like smaller increments, which incentivizes you to collect even more coins. So the coin item probably won't be as, and there's a lot of coin items here. So I don't think it's like I don't think it will be as invasive as it was in 8 Deluxe. So I'm not too disappointed about this one. I mean, I would have preferred them to change up the system a little more rather than just having coins, but I mean, they added more coin items as well. They added the coin box from Mario Kart Tour, which is kind of I don't know. It's that kind of seems like a gimmicky one. But at the same time, it does give like another option for you to get more coins. So I don't know. It's all right, I would say. It does technically benefit the other players as well, since it like kind of sprays out coins everywhere. But I guess that's kind of like a trade-off to using the item. Like, you get a lot of coins yourself, but also like the people around you. So I guess that item's all right. I'm kind of a bit neutral on it. But that brings us into the new items, because the next one is also coin related. So we have the coin shell, which I actually kind of like, honestly. Because it's a way of getting, like, still having that coin system there, but it can also be used as a defensive item as well. Like, let's say you get this, like, around, like, 1st through 4th, like, around there. I mean, they're probably gonna, like, give this to you, like, in the mid levels, I'm thinking. I mean, though it would be nice if you could get this one if you're, like, higher up, like, closer to 1st, because it does give you that, like, option to get coins that they love to give you, like, when you're in 1st, but it also gives you, like, a defensive item as well. I like the idea of this, but we'll just have to see how it works in execution, because I feel like this could go either way. I like the idea of it, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. And then another new item is the Kamek Orb, which basically like summons Kamek. And this one is just like a really gimmicky one. Like, Kamek basically transforms some of the other racers into like a certain character or type of enemy, and then like puts a bunch of that enemy on the track. I think it's a bit weird because it places those obstacle enemies in front of the player that uses it. Demeech mentioned that in his video and thought it was kind of weird, so I think that is kind of weird. I think this item would make a lot of sense if you got it, and it affected, like, players behind you. That makes so much more sense. I mean, maybe it turns the players in front of you into, like, a certain character, and then it spawns some obstacles right behind you. I think that would make way more sense if it worked that way. So, I mean, it's a cool, funny novelty, turning characters into, like, random enemies. I think that's kind of cool. But in execution, the item just seems like really like a novelty. I don't see this one being that useful. And then the final one, which is another kind of novelty item, is the dash food. I like the idea of it. It's a cool little novelty. I don't think it will be that practical, honestly. I mean, maybe if you, like, if you go past, like, one of the Yoshi places, and it's kind of, like, in a good position, you can get, like, an extra speed boost. Yeah, it's alright. But it's really just kind of like a glorified mushroom, honestly. But, I mean, it does give you the, costumes and everything, which is cool for, like, trying to complete the game. But for, like, an actual item, like, when playing with, like, other people, it seems more like a novelty. It doesn't really seem like a true, like, useful item. Because, I mean, like, it's kind of a similar logic to when I'm, like, ranking the 1,000-year door badges. I'm not gonna rank, like, a cosmetic badge that high. And I feel like this one, it's, like, kind of like a similar logic here. The costumes are cool, but it doesn't, like, really do that much to the gameplay itself. it's a cool idea. I like that it's here. But, like, just as an item, it will probably just be fine. It's probably just gonna be, like, just okay. But it is nice that you do, like, get a guaranteed speed boost here as well. So it will be nice, like, with those, Yoshi diners there, that you can get, like, an extra little speed boost. So, yeah. I think the items here, while I am kind of mixed on them, I think the items in general seem, like, pretty good, I would say. The item selection is pretty solid, even though there are some questionable choices here, and some things that I am kind of disappointed about. But yeah, anyways, let me know your thoughts on the items in Mario Kart World down in the comments. And anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!